What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's just jump right in. You know how we do. Colorado Buffaloes versus the Arizona State Sun Devils. Let's talk about it. I mean, Coach Prime said that they played like hot garbage. And I agree. I agree. I mean, the defense definitely was expected to play better. And I'm only saying that because it was against Arizona State. And Arizona State showed exactly what I said. They're not a great team, a good team, but they're not a terrible team either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we definitely saw that. And they're at home. They probably should have won this game. CU's lucky to come out with a victory. I mean, lucky. I mean, I don't think Shador or anybody should be puffing their chests out too much on this win. I mean, a win's a win now. It still goes down in the column the same, but um, a lot of mistakes. Your discipline was terrible. Guys just false starts and just dumb penalties on special teams and just just a lot of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Um, Luckily, I mean, on that second drive, the first drive of the game was same old terrible stuff. Just same old terrible stuff. Expecting the offensive line to be what it's not, to do what it hasn't been. You know, um, I mean that enough said. Second drive, it was pretty good. Uh, got the ball to the players, to our athletes sooner than later. And that was the difference. That's exactly what I had said in my preview videos and what I've been saying. I mean, I don't know what Sean Lewis is, I don't know why he insists on Shador just holding the ball like that. And I know some of that is Shador. But you have to call plays to kind of influence things to go the way that they need to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you know your offensive line is struggling, pass blocking, you need to call plays to help them. You know what I'm saying? Quick slants. And speaking of that, you have Jimmy Horn, you have Weaver running your quick slants, and then you have Miller, running your goals. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in the red zone. Have Miller running your fades, your 50-50 balls, and have everybody else running your quick routes. And at least that's what I would do, and because it makes sense. It was the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Miller was running a lot of the slants, and Weaver was running a lot of the fade routes. And Weaver is that guy. You know what I'm saying? But I would say 50-50 balls is probably a higher percentage for Marion Miller than it is for Xavier Weaver. Xavier Weaver, as we saw in that kick return, or in the punt return, that's who you want to get the ball. You want to get the ball in his hands sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? And let him go to work. I mean, of course, your goals, because usually he's running by guys. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's good on those streaks. But you want to get the ball in his hands sooner than later and let him go to work. But nonetheless, the play calling I thought was a little bit better. A little bit. The running game I thought was a little bit better. It at least helped or held Arizona State at bay to where they couldn't just blitz and send guys at Shador every single down. But they definitely did. They definitely were sending guys. Guys were unblocked, getting free shots on Shador. Shador did a good job delivering the ball during the times when he had the opportunity to do so. But yeah, I mean the running game was a little bit better. The defense was a little bit better, but the mistakes, the passing game wasn't consistent as it usually is, or as you would expect it to be. I guess was a better way to say that. The tackling wasn't good at all. Shiloh was taking some of the worst angles I've ever seen a defensive player take. Shiloh was taking some I mean, and I know, you know, those who have been watching for a while, we've seen Shiloh have some issues with tackling before, but he's been doing good. You know, the past couple games, Shiloh's been tackling well. But I realized that it's not so much the fact that he's a bad tackler. He just takes bad angles, which puts him in situations where you're already at a disadvantage. You know, you don't have the proper leverage, or you don't have the proper angle to get the grasp that you need to make a good tackle. You know, I mean, it's just things like that. You know, and his intent sometimes is always is there as far as to make a hit, but it's not always there as far as to bring a guy down immediately. You know what I'm saying? Bring a ball carrier down immediately. So that's something Shiloh's going to have to work on. But I definitely noticed that his angles, man, he was taking some terrible angles on that punt return by Xavier Weaver. Xavier should have been gone. Should have been gone. But who do you see coming running up? Here comes Shiloh. You know what I'm saying? Full speed. You know what I'm saying? Here comes Shiloh. Full speed. He gonna run right by the punter. I mean, you sitting there staring at him the whole time. He gonna run right by the punter. Right by. You take a horrible angle, run by the punter. Somehow the punter is able to get enough in the way to trip Xavier up and make the tackle. You know, Xavier falls down. Come on, man. I mean, it was, he should have been gone. You know, I mean, just little things like that. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of was the theme. If you think about it, CU did a lot of getting in their own way in this game with the penalties. Obviously, the blocking. You know, defense giving up big plays. I mean, just kind of getting in your own way. You know what I mean? Thank goodness for, you know, the field goal kicker, Mata, did a really good job. Shouts out to him. But man, I mean, it's just a lot of things you would think, you know, would have kind of played out a little better, a little differently, as far as the guys, as far as CU, you know, hitting on all cylinders. Like I said in the preview video, they definitely didn't do that. You know, I mean, now Arizona State gets credit. They're not a terrible team, but nonetheless, if you do a better job getting the ball to your playmakers, and let's not act like there's not playmakers. I mean, like, oh, well, there's some athletes, there's some guys with some quickness, there's some guys with some speed, but there's really not No. There's some playmakers. There's some they were trying to get Dylan the ball, you know. Obviously, you can tell that they just haven't worked on it a lot. You can literally see guys just out in front of their blockers on the screens, not being patient, and not even understanding that patience has to come, you know, long before you even get the ball. You have to show patience, allowing those blockers to move long before you even get the ball. You know, then hopefully, you know, once you get the ball, you're ready. You know what I'm saying, with those blockers ahead of you to get going. You know, I mean, to make a play. But that'll get better. You know, that'll definitely get better as they practice that and make that a focus. You know, as long as they have these particular players. You know, once they get different players, they can do different things. You know, but with these guys, man, you have to do this and get the offensive line out and moving. You know, you might want to roll the pocket out for Shedeur sometimes too. Get that offensive line out and moving, and help buy some time for Shedeur. You know, the offensive line, terrible in the first half, not so terrible in the second half. I'm gonna just say that. Obviously, still not good in the second half. Still not good. But there was a couple plays. Where they held up nice. They did a good job. I mean, there was a couple plays Now you definitely want that in reverse. You want maybe a couple plays they didn't do a good job, and for the entirety of the game, more so them doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you want. I mean, obviously that week of practice wasn't as good as it could be. We'll see what this week of practice looks like as they get ready for Stanford, I believe it is. I could be wrong. But again, it's going to be another game where it's not, you don't expect it to be just an easy one. You got to come out there and make plays. And Shador, trust his teammates. Get the ball to your guys and let them make some plays, man. I mean, the yardage still goes on your stat line too. You know what I'm saying? The yardage still goes on your stat line, man. Whether you throw a 5-yard pass and they take it 20, 30, 40, 50, or you throw a 20, 30, 40-yard pass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you still get the yardage, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something, that's going to take time playing with these guys. Um, you know, Obviously everybody knows what everybody can do, but sometimes you just want to trust that you don't have to take so long to get these guys the ball down the field. They can get down the field with the ball. So let's see what happens after this week. Let's see how CU responds after this close win. Not playing good. It's going to be one of those weeks. It's going to be a tough week. It's going to be a tough week because I know Coach Prine's probably, he's going to remind them that they didn't play that well. And of course, these are kids. They're going to feel like, hey, we won. But there's a bigger picture here. It's not just about winning that game. It's a much bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And I know Coach Prime's going to remind them of that if need be. If they don't already know, like, you know what, we didn't play well. That's what I would love to hear Shador say as the leader. As one of the leaders, like, hey, you know what, we didn't really play to the level that we want to and that we're capable of. But we always have next week. We're going to work hard and practice, and see, how we can bring that to game day, and play on a high level, in all phases, and not really worry about, the stats per se, and the individualism, but how they can get better as a team, and how they can shock the world, man. Because they have the ability, they have the talent, they have the tools. They just need the discipline. They need the belief. They need to understand how to play with this team. They need the play calling. Uh, they need Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Let's make that. They need Travis Hunter. So, let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. If this world were mine.